Hello and welcome to the first turn, the 7 AM turn of Counterattack at Schmidt from Objective Schmidt. The first up in the turn is the command phase, and having reviewed the situation, both the Americans and the Germans have drawn up an alternative op plan to cover the situation. I think I mentioned the Americans had just drawn up a prepared defence op plan to see if they can convert across. They've accrued a couple of turns on that one, and for the Germans, they've spotted those minefields, and I have drawn up an alternate a line of attack for the 2nd Battalion. Just looking through the order of this, you review your op sheets for completion, then you accrue weighted turns, then you check, do reserve rolls, add any units, and then you create any new op sheets. And because I didn't do this until the start of the turn, in fact, I don't have those two on this one. They'll pick those up next time round, but I do on the American one. So if we go back, they have a very, very slim chance of digging in. So they've got a command prep of 4, and the op sheet size was 0. So that means they need a 65 or better, 2 in 36 chance of digging in. 46. Nope, they didn't. So that didn't implement this time round. It's going to be slow going for them, especially once the shooting starts. But might as well at least try and make the best of the situation. There's 2 other parts of the command phase I now need to do, as this is an hour turn. I need to check for battalion vehicle morale. Well, that's easy, nothing's happened there. But quite importantly, I need to roll for the weather. So let's get ourselves up to the weather chart. A bit of heavy fog would probably help the Germans no end in terms of their approach. Even rain will keep anything out of observation range. So let's do a 1d6, a 1, rain. So we have 5 hex visibility for the start of the turn. So let's go back down again, and let's get ourselves all nicely in view. And next up we roll for initiative. Actually no, we don't. We have the artillery and the aircraft phase. So let's just have a think about that and come back in a moment. Didn't really take long to figure out. Nobody can see anything worthwhile, certainly with a 5 hex visibility range. So I also rolled for well, actually I didn't roll for planes because you can't have any aircraft while it's raining. So the Germans are free of that restriction for the next hour. So let's see how we go on initiative. US first, 4, draw. So again, 5, and then a 4. So the US first. So let's get straight into the US turn. Now this is a godsend, because this gap in their defences was spotted last time round, so we can block that off now. I'm going to move. Well, won't flip them. They'll move up to there and flip back. I think that's probably good enough, actually. Looking where these are, I don't think I need him there either at the moment, so we would go 3 sets, half, 1, 2.5, actually 3, and I can flip back just to rearrange that. At the moment, looking at where the Germans have set themselves up, we'll move this stack actually up into these buildings here as well to catch them. So we can flip back as well. So all those moves couldn't be observed by the Germans, so there's no overwatch there. So a quick US turn. Now on to the Germans. Alright, well these will need to start piling on through the woods. I'll keep them together at the moment, so that's going to be 2 into the woods but 3 for the crossing this line, and then it'll be another 3 to here. So I'm not going to get through the woods very quickly here. 2 and then 4, because I've got 2 lines to cross there, and same for him, so we'll continue to move up slowly. Now my plan for the Germans in both these cases was to move up my tanks so that they can be in a position to both observe and also to call down any op fire if any of the US react. So I'm going to move them up first. They can flip into there. It's only third, 1 1/3, 3 1/3 to here. I'd like to, you know, for tanks it doesn't really matter. I was going to think of spreading out because the next ones are coming in here, but tanks can only be hit by the attack zone of artillery, and so unless they want to put a whole battalion fire and blow all the ammunition, as long as they're just not in the same hex, they'll be safe. Similar for these guys, mode, it's the third, 1 2/3. See, that probably was slightly higher because they've moved up that contour, moving into there, not on the road, but loads of time. These can't react because they're tanks. From an infantry point of view, we will flip them, and woods are 2. Where's my chart? 2 4 and I'm moving there, so he's going to move up to there. Flip back. We're going to take things carefully. No, there's no line of sight because the woods. These guys will move up. 1 at the moment. We're just going to position ourselves for the attacks here. Gives these a chance to move up, but I think I'm going to wait a turn. Don't want to bunch up too much, and I need to get the other 2 in place. These have got the quickest line of attack here. So again, let's move my panzers up first. Probably should have moved those up earlier, but anyway. So that's 2 and 3 for the contour, 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 for the road. I'm not inclined to leave anybody sitting in move mode for the moment, so again these guys 2 4 7 8 9 10. Let's just get those moved forward earlier. I really should have moved these up. And these tanks 2 5, 7, 9, and those will flip there. I think I can be a bit more adventurous with the infantry. Let's lead the way. So that's 2, 3, no, 2 because he, and then actually he can't go any further because he would cross another line. 1, 2, 3. You can move, leapfrog him. 1, 2. Let's keep them move mode so we can get them up to here. These guys, I think, we'll try and move up for the next relay phase of the attack. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 to come down to there, and I'll leave those where they are. So that's it. There's no real chance in these early turns for any shooting, certainly with the visibility as it is. So that completes the 7 o'clock turn for the counterattack at Schmidt. I'll be back shortly with the next turn. Right, it's the 7:20 turn, and command phase again. On the op sheets, we've accrued turns on both the American and the German alternative op sheets, so time to roll. Americans again only are still on 4, so need 65 or better. 51, getting closer. The Germans on an attack 1, again they both have got the same command prep here, so they need a 65 or better. Oh, close, but no cigar. So we're on our plans as before. Now we move on to the artillery and aircraft phase. Quick roll for initiative. So the Germans have initiative, so let's have a look and see if it's time to bring down some artillery. Right, here we are with the artillery mortars placed. It was a little bit more complicated than I thought. I decided to have an artillery duel between Harscheid and Schmidt. I thought this would be a nice easy, he could spot him, he could spot him, but actually with the foibles of the TCS line of sight rules, actually he's in a little dip, so he can't, but so these two can't see each other, but this guy can spot both of them, and this guy can spot both. There's a nice even slope down to him. In this case, not so for him. So, but it doesn't matter. We're on for an artillery battle. So we will do this. We've placed them in order. So this is German initiative. So now we will roll to see what happens to each. So Germans have a 10 rating, and basically no modifiers apply, so they need a 41 or better for a good shoot. So we'll do first with this one. 14 is a no shoot. Oh. That's that one gone then. And this one, 41 or better. 34, it's a bad shoot. Not a great start for the German artillerists. So roll for the Americans. Americans are slightly better at this. They need 33 or better for a good shoot. That's a good shoot. It stays. Second one down. 23. Nope, that's a bad shoot. So let's resolve these then. Alright, bad shoot is only a factor of 5, doubled to 10 in the in the actual attack zone, which is these guys are in, we've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 steps in the hex, so that's a +1. They're in protected ring, which is a -3, so that's -2. And that's it. So 10 with a -2 comes down to the 6 table. 55 is a step loss. So it's going to have to go to the squad. That's not so bad. Squad therefore has the worst morale of 4. He's in artillery attack zone, but he's in party protective, so up and down stays at a 4. So he needs 33 or less for no effect. 51. 51 is they're all suppressed. So not too bad an effect. I'll put that. And then this guy had just a 5. 5, he's in protective as well. So 5 with a -3 and down to just a 2 effect, so 21, no effect. So not, well, could be worse. That's for a bad shoot, that's had some impact over here. Right, now on to the Germans. So we've got 3 Panthers in here. It's a good shoot. Now they have the option here of flipping to move mode, but then I couldn't get my SFAs in. Do I want to do that? It's a roll of 10 or more to take one out. I was hoping to be able to suppress this guy with some shooting next time, so I think I'm going to risk it with this lot. So 10 or more. 3 goes to get 10 or more with 2 dice. That was worth the risk. So off that one goes, and these now have 3 here. It's a bad shoot, so it is 11 or more. So again, I think I will keep them as they are. 3 goes to get 11 or more. It was close, but no. Maybe that wasn't the best use of the US artillery, but we'll see. You've got to have a go. So that's the end of the artillery phase. On to the action phase. Let's see who gets initiative for that. So Americans 6, Germans 2. It's going to be the Americans first. Okay, there's not an awful lot for the Americans to do in this turn. We're just going to do some minor adjustments to reflect where the Germans are coming from. So I won't flip this, but that will just move 1 hex to there. I'm actually going to pull this back. There's no point sitting there in the artillery zone until they come across. We can counterattack. And this guy is going to move up to, well, apologies, don't want more to stay behind, but the infantry squad will move up to, as we seem to be getting some movement up around the top here. So we'll just adjust within the zone to do that. There's no fire that I can do, so I'm going to take a risk at the end of the turn, and I'm going to try and recover from suppression here, which opens me up to a fire from this guy. So that's 15, -3 for protective, but +1 for the range. So -15 with -2, so 9 to 10, 12. He's survived, so that worked out in his favour for not slow the Germans down. So pretty simple move for the Americans there. Next up, the Germans will continue their positioning for the attack. Right, on with the Germans. So we'll start over here with the continued advance through the woods of the 2nd Battalion. So that's going to be 2 and 5 and 3. That's going to have to stop there. We'll move on there. They'll come across the woods, keep flooding through. So that's the easy bit. And these are going to be flipping back, so I won't bother putting them into move mode. 2, 4, 6, 8. And I'm going to stop there. 1, 2, 5, 3, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 4, 6. And I'll sit there and they'll gradually move into their positions next time round, so they're getting there. 1, 2, 3, 6, get the infantry, get behind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. It's got one more turn, so they can afford to be out in the open. So, what do you? Well, I'll assume he was there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the following them through. And now over here. Alright, I think it's time to do some firing. I need to manoeuvre for the attack down into this. So we're going to try and see if my next game of TTS can come up. So I'm going to try and take this guy out. We're going to suppress him at least. 15 plus the mortars back here, which add up to 11, is 26. 26 with a -3 for the protective. Gets me down to the 14, 16 column. So 16 or better, or 17 or better for some effect. Ouch, 63. That is 2 step losses. So the so look, the squad has to take one of them, and then I think just one of the machine guns, because I can choose as the as it's my team. The next one I think it would be chosen by the Germans, but so that takes him to 5. That's a morale check of 5 down to 4. 52 suppressed. That's getting a bit of a pounding that side, so that is that, and my mortar is fired. And that's very handy because I wanted to maneuver my tanks, and that will allow us to do that. So that's 2, 5, or 4 plus 3, 7. Actually, that's want to be, yeah, there for the time being anyway. And then time for these guys to catch up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into there. Infantry keeps. Now, interestingly, I've got an opportunity to No, I haven't. Oh, that's 2, it would be 4, and when these are flipped, they've only got 3. I could have got up close, but I get a chance to move in nicely there, and actually I'm going to move him up onto there. This company can start following along, and right, I've got one more turn before the any chance of 1, 2, 3 any planes, so they can safe to move up in that space as well. So I think that puts me in a good spot. No more firing possible. These guys will be in position for the assault to start. Yeah, we should be ready to attack in the 8 o'clock turn. That's when things are going to get interesting. So, end of the 7:40 turn. Back shortly with the next 7:40 turn, and we need to review our op sheets. So nothing obviously is completed. The American op sheet for a prepared defence will only accrue 1 turn this time because they were fired on. The Germans, that takes it to 5. The Germans, because they weren't fired on for the second battalion, get 2, so they get up to 4. So the Americans, prepared defence, still need 65 or above to implement. Nope. The Germans on an attack on 4 similarly need 65 and above. No. So unsurprisingly, no change in orders there. We're still, it's a 7:40, so nothing about weather and morale. So we're on to the aircraft and artillery phase. On initiative, 4 for the Americans, 1 for the Germans. So the Americans go first. So looking at this, still got plenty of artillery left, and I think the Germans have just left the Americans with, too good a shot here, so I think it's time to bring in the 155mm battery. If that gets a good shoot, there's a lot of good targets there, so we'll see how that goes. On the German front, we're going to pull in another attack on here, and he will spot for another attack on him. I'll just better double check those two can see each other. You never can quite tell on this map, so I'm just going to check that, and I'll be back in a second. No problem with line of sight there. Guess I should have gusted. This is working uphill. These are both the same. This could only be higher. So, and indeed it was. So a number of artillery to resolve here. So let's see how the Americans do first on their 18. No modifiers. Need a 33 or better for a good shoot. 41 it is. For the Germans, they need 41 or better. So starting with this one, yep, and the next one, yep. This could be messy. So first up on this one then. So I know that's in the middle. Got a 36. Well, first attack on these two Panzers. Point fire. It's 2 goes to get, actually it's just 2 on this group, so 2 goes to get 10 or more. Nope. These are just panthers, so they aren't affected. So I've got 18 attacks on these two guys, both in partly protective, so that takes it down to the 11 to 13 things, so I need 23 or better to at least get a morale check. So this guy first, 52. 52 is a step loss, and let's see how he does. Morale of 4. He's not in the attack zone of the artillery, so he gets the benefit of the terrain, takes it down to 3. 43, he's suppressed. So that's and a suppressed marker as well, so that's useful for. And then on this guy, 11 to 13, 21, no effect. So, well, I think the Americans probably would have hoped for better, but it's slowed certainly this guy in, and as he was about to, he was on with a free run into the woods and sort of across into here. That may be to his advantage. Right, let's see how this goes on here. 24 attack. I think this guy, let's just check. He's only partly protective. Knocks it down to, so 21 or better to have some effect. A morale check. Morale check of 2. Takes it down to 1. So only need 54 or more to frighten these guys. No. So they laugh away at that German artillery. Up here, same again. Need 21 or better for some effect. Just scraping it in here, the Germans. Oh, hang on. No, that's right, there was only 7. I thought I was going to get a modifier there. So, who's got both morale of 2, reduced to 1. Oh, mind you, these are in the attack zone. So, reduced to 1, back up to 2. 51 before I have an effect. Suppressed. Right, that's a bit of a shame for the Americans there. That could, things are opening up a bit for the Germans. For their, can they rush in off the back of that? We'll have to see. So that completes the artillery round. And next up is the aircraft. The action phase. So again, initiative 6 for the Americans, 4 for the Germans. So the Americans go first. So one of the things I've been looking at here is, I'm not sure if the Americans didn't really look at the lie of the land here. So this guy, if we look at it, he's pretty much bang on this line. He's got a 420 on there. I'm pretty sure that's going to be blocked off when trying to get down here. And this guy down the bottom is going to have the same problem. But I'm going to move these up. I think we need, it's very obvious where these guys are moving to now. So 1, 2, and actually I'm going to, they may be in the open, but I think they're going to get first shot. So I'm going to 3, get them ready to really block that approach off either side of the minefields. And on this front, well, we're going to need to move up. So well, he's blocked in there now. I think, although it's bunching us up a bit, I think we're going to have to line up to to meet the assault. So he will move into there. Now, is he likely to have a shot? He's going to be 400. It's almost in between. That's going to be 410. 25. What's this one? I think we've certainly got to look at that because he would be spotted. He's moving now. So although it's part 3 -1 for partly protective, move mode makes it another +1. So 3. He is potentially able to spot them there. So let's just see if that is an line of sight or not. As suspected, that was blocked. These are too far down, and this blocks the line of sight. So they get away without any loss there. And the K Company need to make a move as well. So no, I'm just gonna move that for the moment. So that's the end of the Americans' turn. On to the Germans. Okay, so time for these to deploy for their attack. So it's a question of moving up like, in fact, moving up like this, and I'm not sure if those could have a line of sight in there or not. I think it's going to be blocked by the woods, but I'm not going to take the risk of being spotted anyway. So down there, they can't be. So that gets him ready. He's going to continue. It's going to be honest, moving across the lines and everything else. That's just going to keep them moving up into there, but these will now be ready to move up for an attack. So is there a line of attack on these guys that I can exploit? I think firstly I'm going to keep on with my plan for the Panthers. That's 3 and then 4 up into the road, and I'm ready to respond. Now, I'm looking up the rules for overrun here, and I'm wondering if these would be ripe for an overrun attack, because suppressed units can't op-fire, they can only fight back. Now, it would be, let's have a look at what chances would they have to attack me. I'd be in protective, which would give them a roll of 7, and then -2 because the infantry unit would be 9. It still seems a reasonable chance there, so I don't think that's going to work. I think, however, these are going to get my infantry up into the point where we can assault next turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to see if he can fire on that, so a quick line of sight check again. Nope, he can't. This blocks line of sight, so there's a nice little dip to move into there for the infantry. Although we're going to have to be careful of artillery movement, so the other infantry I think will take advantage of this, so he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now again I've checked, actually this hex blocks line of sight for them as well, so they're up. I should have flipped him already. This 1, 2, that's just 6 to there. Keep him in reserve for the next 2 moving up. This one will move up. These companies will continue to move up out of sight. So that's moving nicely there. These are deployed for attack. And now what to do here. So actually should have deleted these fire markers at the start. Get rid of those. So there's still 3 steps and, well, plenty of machine guns in there to take out. He's suppressed, but I've got a route in to potentially come and attack these. So I think I'm going to, no, I think we need to have a bit more of a fire attack before we move everything into place. So really need to suppress this guy if at all possible. So then I'm free to move up along this whole line without them coming in if possible. So let's on this front I think it's going to be start off with an SFA. So I think we're going to fire these. I'm going to fire these. So that's 25, and we'll bring the other 11th, so 36 into play for this, and we're going to be firing at these. These protectors are down to 3, so it's 1, 2. So I need 14 or better to have some effect. 52, that's going to be, well, shows the effect. It's only a step loss, so that comes there, takes his morale to 3, back up to down to 2 again. As long as he gets 46 or less, he is fine. 62. The Americans are not, despite their great morale, they're not doing so well here. Right. Mortars fired. No, not him. Right, I think time to make a move and get ourselves in amongst them. Right, these are all on a road. We have cleared our route in, so let's get into let's get in close to Schmidt. So this guy, 1, 2. 1. No, actually, do I want to move? I think he's going to get a bit of pounding from artillery if I'm not careful, so I think we'll be a little bit cautious. Get those in close, and let's get these moved right up to, I think, no one to spot. I don't know if they try and recover. That is 1, 1.5. Am I being a bit? Nope. 2.5. 1.5. Down into that. And 1, 2. He's going to go this way, following through the woods. So I think this is working out nicely. So these guys now, oh, actually I don't want to move Mr. Stack anymore. 1, 2, 3. Get the company all nicely into the woods here. I think also time to move these guys in for the attack as well. I won't bother flipping, they're going to move here so they can pound away. So all in all, this is going pretty well for the Germans. I can remove that at the end of the turn. No one can see me, so that's fine. And that's how we're going to take it. But I think this is crumbling. So let's see what the Americans do next. But that is the end of the 7:40 turn, and we'll be back in a separate video for the 8 o'clock hour.